Hello everyone, my name is Dave Callis, and today's breakout is about parenting, actually parenting by connection. I just want to say I'm a dad and I love being a dad. I have two boys, actually I have two men. My oldest is 25 and my youngest is 8, he just turned 18. And he's in college, he just left for college, and I'm a total mess, I'm a total wreck, I miss him dearly. But today's topic is parenting by connection, all right? And today's topic is not about a to-do list. These are 5 easy steps on how to become a better parent. No, it's not that at all. Today is all about support. You know, as a parent, I realized I need support. I need a village to help me raise my child. Everything I do today is through the lens of Christ. I am in the process of being a parent coach, getting a certification through a wonderful non-for-profit called Hand in Hand Parenting. There'll be information at the end there for you if you want more information on that. And it's a wonderful organization, and I'm in the process. I'm just learning a great deal on how to be a better parent and how to coach others through parenting. So, like I said before, everything today is through the lens of Christ. You know. And this is what Psalms 127 says. Don't you see that children are God's best gift? The fruit of the womb is a generous legacy. Like a warrior's fist full of arrows are the children of a vigorous youth. Oh, how blessed are the parents with your quivers full of children. So the Bible is real simple, right? And we know this. Children are a gift. Right? And when you think of this verse, you know, you think of, oh man, kids running through the field, the joy, the laughter, the giggles, oh, how I love children. And that's wonderful and that's great. And yes, children are an amazing gift, and God has given us this beautiful child, you know, for us to take care of us, for us to parent. But sometimes it's not all wonder and joy and happiness. You know, sometimes sometimes it's a little difficult. You know, and it's in these spaces where we find and we really challenge ourselves. It's like, oh wow, I just bought this TV and my child is and kids mean so well. They're so innocent in what they do, and you gotta love it. You gotta love it. It's like, oh, and they become teenagers. They become teenagers. They become teenagers and they don't know anything because they're teenagers. And teenagers that learn they grow up and they learn how to drive. And you get that call from, hey dad, do we have insurance? What's insurance? Oh, kids, you gotta love them. You gotta love them because they're a gift, right? So you may be asking, what is parenting by connection? What is that? What is that? Let's go into some stats here. I got some amazing stats for you. And there's a common thread here. Let's see if you can figure out what that common thread is. There's a research by a group called ETR, and they reached out to 600 different agencies, right, that deal with children. And this is what they came up with. There was this common factor throughout the whole entire thing. So kids, if they had personal traits, and this is what their personal trait was, because of this common factor. There was self-confidence, all right? When it came to mental health, this was the common factor. They were protected against depression because of this because when it came to mental health. Because of this common factor, specific risk factors protected against violence, drug, alcohol abuse. Because of this common factor, when it came to risky sexual behavior, there was none. It was protected against teen pregnancy because of this common factor. When it came to conduct disorders, there were no delinquents, there was no aggression. When it came to school achievement, because of this common factor, there was a zero dropout rate, none whatsoever. Because of this common factor, when it came to social behavior, it promoted quality, stability, and peer relationships. What is this common factor? It's called the PCC factor. It's parental-child connectiveness. All right? There was a parent that was connected to this child. Whether it was a single parent or whether it was a married couple, there was a parent relevant involved in this child's life. You see, the PCC factor was huge, all right? You see, connection is vital, all right? It's the key to this whole entire thing. It's the key to this whole breakout, right? Connection is vital. And I'm gonna give you some tools to help you connect better with your kids, connect better with the kids that come to your ministry, connect better with your family members, all right? Connection is vital, all right? When you look at a child, right, and you say to yourself, okay, this is the church lingo, all right? I'm the adult, you're the child, and that's it, period, all right? When you look at a child and you look at it, oh my goodness, God created this child, all right? So you go with the mindset of, I'm gonna respect this kid. When you give respect to a child, and when you give warmth, when you give eye contact, when you speak to a kid, when you give eye contact, when you listen to a child, this is what you're gonna get back, all right? You're gonna get trust, you're gonna get cooperation, you're gonna get respect back. So when you give out warmth, when you give out respect, when you give eye contact, when you give out listening, all right, you're gonna give what you're gonna get back. You're gonna get trust back from the kid, you're gonna get cooperation, and you're gonna get respect. When you as the parent give this out, this is what you're gonna get back. You see, the child's neural pathways, they grow, right? Let me kind of show you. Connection comes first, right? This is what physically is happening to a kid's brain. This is really important. This is really, really important, okay? In the middle of our brains, right? Just look at like the thumb inside of our fist, right? In the middle of our brain is this thing called the limbic system, right? And the limbic system, it's like a radar for a kid. And it's always on. It never shuts off. And this is what the limbic system is saying, right? It's reading the room, whether it's verbal communication or nonverbal communication. It's always reading the room. And this is what the brain is always saying. Am I safe? Where's mom and dad? Am I safe? Am I safe? Is it okay in here? Is it okay in here? This is where we get our nonverbal signals from. This is where we get our emotions from our limbic system, right? You ever hear say, I just have a gut feeling, this is where we get our gut responses from. This is where we get, we assess our safety, especially for a kid, especially when they're first born, there is no verbal communication, but their brains are always saying, do I hear mom's voice? Do I see her face? Do I see her eyes? Do I hear dad's voice? Is it there? The limbic system is always on, and it's just a radar always going on. And this is where we get our long-term memory. Now remember, this system is always on, always on. So that's the middle of our brain, right? In the front of our brain is a prefrontal cortex, all right? This is where we get this is where our attention lives, right? This is where our reasoning lives. This is where our judgment lives, right? In the prefrontal cortex. This is where the planning and the impulse control lives, right? This is where our short-term memory lives, right? So we have the limbic system and we have the prefrontal cortex always on, always going on. Always, the radar's always reading, and a child is always reading the room. So feeling connected is vital to a child. When these things are always, when they're awakened, when they're on, so to speak, right? This is what you get from a child. So when the limbic system and the prefrontal cortex are on, this is what you get, right? You get cooperation, you get playfulness, you get empathy. A child is empathetic, a child is flexible, and a child or a kid is able to learn. So when that's on, it's always good. That's the best time for you to plug into a kid or want them to learn something, is when their radar is saying, oh, it's okay, I'm safe here, it's good, there's no danger, mom and dad, everything is good, all right? Boom, 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 the pistons are all on, the brain is working, and the child is able to learn, a child is playful, a child is joyful. And the thing is, when that connection breaks, when the limbic system is saying, oh, I got a hurt feeling, so the limbic system is going, oh, this is what happens, and then it sends a signal to the front part of the brain. The front part of the brain shuts off, and the thinking is broken. All right? When the thinking is broken, a child can't think, you get irrational behavior, right? So that's the way we're wired. That's the way we're wired as human beings, right? That's the way our God wired us, right? So this is when connection breaks, we as parents, we give them a long list of stuff to do. I tell you to do this, and I tell you to do that. Now what's happening to the front of their brain? The front of the brain is shut off, so there's no thinking going on. So they hear wah, wah, wah. So when a child is off track behavior, when the front of their brain, and this is their feelings are, something happened, I don't feel safe anymore, no, erratic behavior, their brain shuts off. So what do we do when their brain shuts off? So we still have to connect. Most of us, our children are the ones that trigger us the most, right? Because we love them, we care for them so much. When they don't do what we tell them to do, is when we lash out at them the most, all right? So you have to really understand how a kid's brain works, right? So what do you do when a child is off track? Most of us, we freak out. This kid is driving me crazy. Oh my goodness. Is when we lash at them the most, when they're having a tantrum, right? We lash at them the most. When they're crying, crying triggers us as adults. We lash at them the most. When a child is misbehaving, we feel like they're disrespecting us, and we lose control, all right? So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna give you some tools, all right, to help you do that, to help you connect better with your child. And what if I were to tell you that tantrums are good? What if I were to tell you crying is good, all right? Wait, most of you just left the room. What if I were to tell you that when a child is laughing, they're at their peak, right? They're releasing triggers. When a child is sweating or they're releasing their emotions. So a child's having tantrums, crying, laughing, and when they sweat and shake is when they're releasing their emotions. When they're releasing their emotions, right, the limbic system is like, it calms down, and then they go back, the front of their brain turns back on, and they're back on track, right? So that's what we want to get to. Now, to get to there, it could be difficult for us because, again, I was raised, if I cried, I was told to shut up, be quiet. I'll give you a reason to cry. I'm going to give you a reason to cry. I'll give you a spanking. If I would have a tantrum, it's a form of disrespect. Oh, this kid is so spoiled. Oh my gosh, how dare you? Oh my goodness. Could you believe this kid is having a tantrum? No, that's not the way we're wired, right? So I love this quote. It says this: by deepening our ability to understand our own emotional experience, we are better able to relate empathetically with our children and promote their self-understanding and healthy development. Right? I'm going to give you some tools that are going to help you connect better with your child. So the first thing is first, right? This is priority number one, right? When you go on an airplane, what do you do? You sit down, find your seat, and then the stewardess comes up and she goes through her spiel, and there's a part when the oxygen mask falls off, what's the first thing you do? You put the mask on first, and then you take care of whoever you came with. If you came with the child, you take care of the child. Because if you're passed out, you're no good to the child, right? So you need to self-care first before you take care of anything, right? So there's a phrase that we use all the time in hand, and I love it. It says, if anybody needs a timeout, it's the parent, all right? So I want to give you a tool, and this tool is called listening partnership, right? So this is what listening partnership is, right? You find another parent, right, that you trust, that you respect, that'll give you some attention, that's a good listener, right? And this is what you do with the other parent. This is what you do. You get to be human in front of them and with them. And you get to scream as that, oh my goodness, my kids are driving me crazy, right? And this is what I love about listening partnerships, right? There's no fixing, there's no judging. There's just you being there for someone else and you being respectful to the other parent, and you're just listening, right? The things most of us, we want to fix. Let me talk, and let me give you a scripture, and let me give you this. This is what listening partnership is, right? You're going to another parent, right? You're blocking out, 15, 20 minutes, and you take turns, and you're saying, hey, man, I'm really struggling with Billy, man. Billy's giving me a really hard time. I'm just like, I'm just so angry. I'm just so, little Sarah is having a rough time in school. I don't know, she's getting a little aggressive. I don't know what to do. And you get to vet, you get to vent, you get to blah, right? And when you have this amazing listening partnerships, right, when you trust a person and you give out respect, right? Remember, you're important, they're smart, no advice, you keep it confidential, right? I've been doing this for the last year, and it has totally changed me as a parent. And again, like I said, my youngest is 18 years old. I'm never gonna stop being a dad, right? It doesn't end, right? It's just, the stakes are higher when they're 18, right? And my son will be 25 in a couple of days. The stakes are way higher now, right? I don't stop being a dad because they're 25, right? Yes, they're men now, but I never stop being a dad. But because I have a listening partnership, right, I'm able to, I have a group of amazing men, and I'm able to share my fears and my doubts and my hurts. And it's a safe environment. It's a safe place where I can not be judged. I'm a pastor, right? I know the answers to everything, right? I grew up in church. I say, I was in my mother's womb, and then I was born and raised in church my whole entire life. So I know the Bible inside. I know the church lingo, right? But very very few times do I feel safe around people, where I'm able to just like, and that's what listening partnership is, right? So I do this on a weekly basis with a group of men, and there's 5 of us together. We get together every single week. Actually, it's an international call. One's in London, another one's in Greece, and another one's in California, and another guy's in Seattle, another guy's in Michigan. And every Monday at 9 o'clock in the morning, we share with each other, and we just raise dad questions with each other, and we challenge each other. It's a safe, beautiful environment. I love it. So listening partnership is an amazing tool, right? And all these other tools I'm going to give you right now, they're all listening tools, right? So you want to connect with your kid, be a good listener, right? So how do you listen to your kid when they're having a tantrum, or when they're crying, or when they're disrespectful, right? How do you listen to a child, right? There's 4 tools I want to give you. Now again, this is a support thing, right? I'm not going to tell you, this is the way to do it. These 4 easy steps, and you can be a better parent. Nah, stay away from people like that, all right? I'm not selling anything today, all right? I'm not going to write a book, right? And I don't want you to buy it, okay? But these are tools that you can use to better connect with your child, to better be a good dad, to better be a good mom, right? That's what we want. I'm here to support you to be a better parent, right? And it's difficult. That's why the listening partnership is so important, right? So this is, as an adult, as an adult to a child, we want to do 4 things, right? We want to stay listening. We want to have special time. We want to be setting limits, and we want to do something called play listening, right? So one of the tools we have is stay listening, and this is a really important one. Actually, they're all important. This is not something you do one and not do the other. Oh, I like this one, but I don't. No. They all kind of work hand in hand with each other. That's why it's called hand in hand. It's five tools, right? Stay listening, all right? A child is going to cry, right? A child is going to have off-track behavior. Now, whether that be a toddler, whether that be the kid is elementary, whether they're a middle schooler, whether it be a high schooler, a child or a kid or adolescent is going to have off-track behavior. Now, the question is, how are you going to respond to that? Like I said before, when I was a kid, If I cried, I was told to shut up, and I'm going to give you a reason to cry. You keep on crying, I got hit. If I kept on crying, I got hit. If I did something bad, I got hit. If I I got hit for everything. I got hit. I got spanked for everything. All right. I wasn't given the permission to cry. Right. So when a kid is crying, something's wrong. Right. So what's the way we're wired? How we're wired? Right. The limbic system it's they can't control it. It's not something they can control. It's off track, right? Their brain shuts down, right? So the kid, let's say a kid it starts to cry, right? So how do you react to that? How do you react to a kid crying? This is a tool called stay listening, right? This is what you do. When a kid is, let's say the kid fell, right? And if he's hurt, he's hurt, that's why he's crying. He's crying because he's hurt. But let's say he comes, you're picking up the kid from school, he's in the back of his car, and he just gets in the car and in the back seat, and you're driving for 5 minutes, and the kid starts to cry. All right, what do you do? Right? You could say, what happened? Oh my goodness! Right? When you get home, you can do this. Right? You can move close when the kid is crying. You can move in close, and you could whatever it is, you could try to stop the irrational behavior. If just make sure he's safe. If he's having a tantrum, just make sure he's not hurting himself or anybody else, right? And you give time for feelings, right? You don't have to say much. You don't have to say anything, right? Your physical presence and your facial expressions and your tone of voice is going to change the off-track behavior, right? So this is what stay listening is, right? I care. I'm here. Billy, I'm here, man. Billy, it's not Billy, shut up. Billy, be quiet. Billy, stop. Billy, it's okay. It's okay. You're safe. Billy, I see you. I'm sorry you're crying. It's okay. Dad's here. Mom's here. It's okay. And the more you do this, the more you're not shut down because you have to look at it as a tea kettle. When a kid is crying, a tea kettle is just this is boiling up. What happens? It's a natural process that they have to have a release, right? That crying is that release. So this is what's happening. When a child is crying, they're at their healthiest. When a child is crying, they're letting out their steam. When a child is crying, they're letting out the way God intended their steam to come out, right? But what do we do as adults, right? What do we do, especially like I said before, this is the way I was taught, right? We shut it down, right? We shut down their emotion, we shut down their feeling. So we want it naturally to just, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay, right? Not shutting it down like stop, no, it's gonna be fine. Bendito, oh, no, there's none of that stuff. It's just, I see you. I'm here. Oh, Billy, I love you. Okay, that's what stay listening is. And over the course of time, the child will learn how to develop this self-resolve of, I'm in tune to my feelings. I got this. Right. You want that release to come out. You want that when a child is crying or when a child is having a tantrum, you're there, right? So they can feel safe enough, right? That limbic system is going off. Special time. I do special time with my 18-year-old, right? It's super expensive to have special time with an 18-year-old. I'll explain that in a second. Special time is this. You set a time and a date, right? It could be 15, 20 minutes. It could be half hour. You have to set a time limit on it, right? So this is what you're going to do. You're going to tell, this is individually. You have a bunch of kids, you do it one at a time on different days or different times. It's not a group thing. It's a one-on-one. Right? As an adult, you're going to go to a kid and you're going to grab that kid and you're going to say this: whatever you want to do, we're going to do it for 15 minutes. Billy, whatever you want to do, we're going to do for 15 minutes. All right? Whatever you want. Now, if you're saying whatever you want to do and Billy says, hey, let's go throw water balloons out the window. You know what you're gonna do? You're gonna throw water balloons out the window. Hey, let's dress up like superheroes, and you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna dress up like a superhero, right? You put your phone away, you spend your time with that child 15 minutes. Now you have to have a time limit, because with a child, you don't want to be stuck in special time for over an hour. You'll be in deep trouble. Now I do special time with my youngest. He just turned 18. Now his special time is this: hey Dad, let's go out to eat. So of course we're not going to McDonald's. My son likes he's a dinosaur, right? He likes meat. So we went out to eat, man. It was like, I got that bill. We went to an amazing steakhouse, right? And I got that bill. I was like, special time, special time. No, it's an amazing time for you to connect with your kid. Now, over the course of time, when that kid knows that you're having special time with them, there's an extra warmth, there's extra eye contact. You promote laughter, right? It's not a time for me to hey son, tell me about life. How are you feeling? No, there's no advice, right? It's just I'm letting whatever the conversation goes, that's where it goes, right? When you're playing with your kid in special time or whatever the kid wants to do, right? It gives the kid some self-confidence, right? Where this adult is letting me, for these 15, 20 minutes, let me do what I want to do, right? And of course, if, hey, let's throw knives at each other. Obviously, you're not going to throw knives at each other, right? But it's not like, most boys, they just want to play video games, right? So that's why you got to do the time limit. Make it 10 minutes, make it 15 minutes, make it 20 minutes, right? So, what's torture for me? Minecraft. Oh my gosh, just that soundtrack of Minecraft, I just want to jump out the window, right? But special time is something where you and your child can connect, right? You're giving the kid confidence, you're giving the kid, and over the course of time, when the more special time they have, if you do it once a day, every day, or you do it once a week, but the more you have it, the less other problems you'll have, because they feel connected with you in a special way. And special time is an amazing tool for you to connect with your kid. Setting limits. Whoa, I'm gonna park here for a little bit, all right? This breakout is about not letting kids do whatever they want to do, and kids are free, kids can they can do whatever they want. No. Kids need limits. We have to set boundaries for kids. It's really important that we structure that, and that they need that, they desire that. A teenager is not going to say, hey, I need boundaries in my life. I really do. No. But they need it. They're not going to ask for it, but for us as parents, we have to give it to them. We have to, I like to look at it as scaffolding, right, throughout their whole entire lives, right? It's we build that scaffolding. That scaffolding is always changing at different phases in their lives, at different ages. That scaffolding is always moving, but it's always there, right? So for us, as parents, we need to set limits. And it's 3 easy steps, right? It's listen, limit, listen. Right? Listen, right, to myself. Okay, before if a child does something that's off track, that's Billy smacked Sarah with a brush. That's not a good thing, right? Right. So let me listen to myself. How am I going to react to this, right? What am I feeling right now? Sometimes instantly we just go straight to anger and we just stop. So right, just kind of catch yourself. Like listen to the kid. But what exactly is going on here? Is it really Billy's fault? You gotta assess that pretty quick, right? You set the limit. You bring the limit, right? And then you listen afterwards, right? Kind of those stay listening tools, right? Because a child, Billy's gonna not be in a good space when we set that limit, right? But you have to be there. You have to show them that you care, and you have to hold that limit, all right? Now this is the thing with church people, right? Spare the rod, spoil the child. We love to spank our kids, right? And what if I tell you, you don't have to spank your kids, right? You don't have to put your kid in timeout. You don't have to create a reward system. You don't have to be in a place where I'm going to give you allowance to do what you don't have to do that for a kid to behave correctly or be on track. Not correctly. I don't even know what correctly means, right? Kids need boundaries, right? This is children need boundaries. They need discipline, right? And it's not about us. We spell it rod, spoil the child. You have to really study what that word rod means, right, in the Bible. The root of the word discipline, you know what it is? It's disciple. And in Matthew 28, what are we called to do is what? Make disciples of, exactly, all right. Discipline is not rules or regulations or punishment. Discipline is to study, is to learn, is to train, right? That's what we're called to do, is make disciple, right, of all kids, is to train them, right? So this is the way I like to look at it, how we respond to kids' off-track behavior, right? Are you a drill sergeant? Or are you a first responder, right? Let me assess the situation. Okay, this person needs my help. Let me make it better, right? Me as the adult, let me make it better, right? If you're a drill sergeant, you always, this is the law and this is the way it is, there's going to be no connection, right? There's different styles of parenting and authoritative parenting, there's no connection there. Now you could be authoritative, right, where you set limits, right, where that scaffolding needs to be put in that child's life, right? And you could be a first responder as an authoritative parent, or you could be what they call permissive parents, whatever, let them do whatever they want to do, or a non-present parent, and nobody in this room is a non-present parent, right? We care. So you could be authoritative, you set limits, and remember, kids need that scaffolding, and that scaffolding is always changing at different levels in their life. Play listening. I wish I'm here by myself in the studio. Zoom in closely. Hey, have fun with your kids. I'm gonna say it again. Have fun with your kids, right? Be the rock star in their life. Be the goofball in their life. Be the one that's always gonna make them laugh. And don't do this. Don't force the tickle. Don't tickle them where you're forcing them to do anything, right? When you play listening, right? You're physical. You're horse playing. You're wrestling, right? Let the child lead, right? Let them feel like you're wrestling and you got me again. Let's kind of play the less power role, right? Not like I'm gonna beat you every single time. I'm gonna beat you in chess so you can learn, and life isn't fair. As a kid, just laugh, just have fun, just tumble, just wrestle, just notice and promote laughter, right? And again, don't force the tickle. Just have a good time, And if you play listen, let's say, some of us are a lot of parents are stuck at home with our kids. If you do some play listening before they do schoolwork, they're going to be on track with their schoolwork. If you do some special time, like 5-10 minutes before they do their schoolwork, before school starts, you're gonna see a big difference in their behavior, and you see a big difference in how they respond to schoolwork, because their pistons are on, right? Their front brain is working. Their prefrontal cortex is lit because you're connecting with them. So play listening is just having a great, fun, good old-fashioned time. Wrestle, have a pillow fight every single night before you go to bed. Have a pillow fight. Have the kissing monster chase the child throughout the whole entire house, right? Take a roll of toilet paper, wad it up, and just have a toilet paper wad fight or something. Just take socks and throw it at each other. Have a good time with your kids. So this is, in a nutshell, what parenting by connection is, right? It's 5 simple tools, right? It's a hand, right? listening partnerships, right? Stay listening, special time, setting limits, and play listening, right? These 5 tools will help you better connect with your kids. And this is what I'm realizing, again, I take this, I'm a dad first before anything, before I'm a pastor, and I've been pastoring children for the last 25 years, right? Again, you never stop being a dad. I'm never gonna stop being a dad, right? As a parent, I realized 2 things, right? I focus more on the outside than I do on the inside, right? Obviously I care for my kids. I have a roof over their head, and I was raised that way. I had amazing parents, right? But there wasn't an emotional connection. My dad cared for us. I remember always going on vacation, and we always had things, and we always had stuff. But in the beginning of my kids' life, I raised my kids that way. I provided for them. But the older I get now, it's like I realize the emotional piece is really, really important, right? I lacked the emotional piece early in their life, and I'm doing it now. And it's never too late. It's never too late. You have a teenager that's out of whack or what? It's never too late to turn the ship, right? So as a dad now, I'm realizing this. I focus more on the outside than what's happening on the inside. Right now, I'm really focusing on what's happening on the inside, so they can grow up to be amazing men of God, right? And I also realize this: my calling was formed in the womb of my mother's belly, right? I'm going to leave you with this verse. Oh yes, you shaped me first, inside, then out. You formed me in my mother's womb. I thank you, high God, you're breathtaking. Body and soul, I am marvelously made. I worship in adoration. What a creation. You know me inside and out. You know every bone in my body. You know exactly how I was made, bit by bit, how I was sculpted from nothing into something. Like an open book, you watch me grow from conception to birth. All the stages of my life were spread out before you, before I even lived one day. So thank you for bearing with me, these last couple of minutes or hours or days, or how long it's been. I'm going to leave my email here. You can reach out to me. Again, thank you, and it's been my pleasure. Blessings.